This episode is... We're in the Playhouse. Welcome to the Playhouse. I'm Uncle Paul. Well, whether you call them Nodders, Bobbleheads, Wacky Wobblers, or even car mascots, the world of collecting these bopping little gems is so much fun. And that's what we're going to be discussing today in the Playhouse. But first, it's time for our very special hellos. Hello to special member Jerome Luby, the Sticker Mania family, Matthew Street. Your support is so appreciated, and as well as Rachel's Ghost, Andrew of Parlogram, Beetle Destino, Andrew Dixon, Dave Sundstrom, Patricia of A Little Beatles Corner, Beetle Brad and Beetle Dave, Polly Hewitt, Ken Michaels Radio, Joe Mayo, Brendan Snyder, Andy of Tom of Two Legs. Now, if you'd like a special hello, just please leave it in the comments dedicated to your pet or your child, and we'll say hello in a future episode. And that's our very special hellos for today. And now it's time for Object Presentation Artifact Showcase. Well, we have something we always have something extremely special in the Playhouse. But as we said before, today's going to be the world of collecting bobbleheads, nodders. Again, they have many names. All right, we're going to start with the Beatles, of course, because that's what we do here in the Playhouse. Now, I'm going to give you a little history, of course. Okay, and these are what they officially called, they had kind of two names, but car mascots. And I'm going to read you the instructions that I have the rare instruction sheet with it, of course, here in the Playhouse. So first, we're just going to show them to you. Right now, these have been, be careful out there when you're at flea markets or even some collector shows, right? Because sometimes even the vendor that you're buying them from doesn't know that it's a reproduction. Because if it's something that is extremely desirable, as you know, then usually knockoffs, as they call them, are produced. And these could have been produced 20, 25 years ago, and the vendor finds them innocently for a good price. So basically also, depending on the price, the old saying is, if it's too good to be true, then stay away from it. That's how the Playhouse advises that. Okay, because again, we don't talk about value, but I'm sure you know, a set of these is very desirable. Especially again, because these are also made by paper mache. In fact, in episode 6, we showed you the Lego Peanuts set of 6 bobble nodders. And by the way, yes, I looked into it. The company Lego, real fast, that manufactured the famous Peanuts ones is the Lego that we know today. It started out back there, because those were manufactured in like 1958. All right, back to John before he gets mad at me. So these are all the same way. All right, here's something that, real fast, we like to tell everyone here in the Playhouse as much information, whether I know there are so many experts out there, but for actually also new collectors, we want to help as much as possible when you are out hunting for treasured Beatles goodies. So it's very important. Now, this has not been reproduced. So a fast way to tell right there, even though sometimes the figure just doesn't look as good, you have to have Car Mascots Incorporated, Los Angeles, California, and the Made in Japan gold sticker on the bottom. And yes, and here, the little 2 sticky parts. As we're going to get to these, and that's why all of them generally are broken, you were supposed to place these on the dashboard. dashboard of your car. All right? While you play your Beatle music, so they would bop around. So, obviously, many of them fell off the car. So here's Paul. These are just so much fun, and as usual, not just because of value, you just love when something is so in incredible collection. At the Playhouse, we don't like to brag either. We just show our enthusiasm, of course, when we have something that's very treasured. Here's George, of course. All right, and here. Stop again. And then, see now here are the two sticker parts. Oh, and there's also something else here on this one, yes. Copyright 1964, car mascots. So you need all that stuff. Sometimes the bottoms can be just blank. So if you find that, and meaning without even these indents, they're phony. So don't look. If you just want a set and it's fun, right? And they're $50, I would say. It's fun to get them, but I wouldn't want anybody to pay big prices for something that they believe was original. Now this is really okay. So here's Ringo, of course, and again to show the pristine quality, not overdoing it. But Ringo has his drumsticks, and pretty much 7 out of 10, even if you find 10 of these, one of the drumsticks or both have usually broken off. And the same bottom there. No paint loss, no cracks. So these definitely did not come, were never used as they're intended. Now I hear the Playhouse members screaming, yeah, but where's the box? Yeah, well, of course the Playhouse has the box. And most of the cello intact. Now, here, the Bobblehead Beatles. See, whether they're car mascots or on the box it says Bobblehead Beatles. And, all right, this is fun to show you, all right? Of course, now we go back into the Playhouse time capsule. Ready? 99 cents plus tax. I'm just amazed at that. Each car mascot was a quarter. If we could all just go back in time or join Marty McFly, right? Okay. So, and as well as the box, there was a little original insert. These are the most desirable ones and fun. So that's why we're spending a little more time so much on these, because I really wanted to share this with you. First, it's a product designed and manufactured by Car Mascots Incorporated of Los Angeles, California. And I'm going to read this real fast, but it's enjoyable. Because again, usually this insert is not, if you do have a box, the insert is usually missing, or a lot of times you just find the car mascots without the box. All right, so here's what you were supposed to do. Verbatim. The official Beatle Bobblehead car mascots are great fun for use in cars, homes, club rooms. Ooh, they had club rooms in 1964. Yes. Accurately sculptured heads of John, Paul, Ringo, and George are carefully mounted on tempered steel springs to allow movement when activated by airflow, vibrations, or hand winding. Set the Beatles on the rear window platform of autos, or on top of phonograph players, or close to a fan, air conditioning, or heating ducts. That's not good. Then watch the excitement when their heads start moving in perfect harmony and keeping with the famous, in quotes, Beatle beat. Oh, I could have never memorized that, but it's fun reading the box instructions. All right, I'm going to show you another set. Now, these are unauthorized, but as usual, the Playhouse loves them. The Beatles should have actually done these themselves. Right now, these were done, talk about, again, like an unauthorized, at least they're not copying anything that was never officially available to the public. So then you really wouldn't call this, it's not a bootleg or anything. It's just a depiction that some very talented people were able to do. Now, of course, these never had any markings on them, but it's a complete set of the Beatles, of course, as depicted on their last concert on January 30th, 1969, on the Apple Roofs building. And again, beautiful depiction because they're all in their accurate clothing. Ringo, because it was a little rainy that day, has his famous raincoat, and I really did even think that the sculpture of these, they're very true to form of what they look like. Sorry for my back here. And here's Paul, of course, sporting his famous Let It Be Time facial hair. It doesn't say bassman on his bass though. No, I'm being just humorous. Okay, and of course, this one, I'm noticing right now. Okay, well, thank you to it looks like, all right, ML, and these are, he etched in 2003 on these. So I just learned something as I'm showing them to you, which is nice. I know I had to mail away to, I believe it was like Argentina to get these. And I also remembered that we had to send cash to Argentina. And again, we don't talk about prices, but it was a couple of maybe $100 bills. So you could see maybe, I trusted him. I just was afraid, right, that it wouldn't get there. But they all arrived, as you could see, beautifully and safely. Here's George again. He had George was the best dresser during that time, we say. If you watch Get Back, you see George Harrison always like picking out his outfits and asking for a bow tie, or he got a purple one eventually. So he's in his famous green pants. You know, Ringo loved to dress up as well. I think they all cared about their appearances. All right, now we're just going to show you, we're going to get into more modern bobbleheads, different companies. Now, of course, this is a promotion. Funko is a very popular company that manufactures them. And they started, I believe, they were the first to actually call them Wacky Wobblers. So they trademarked that. And this is, again, Freddie Funko. And he is the mascot of all of Funko Land. Because Funko, their most popular right now, of course, is the Funko Pops, Pop Vinyls. And the Playhouse has an extensive collection of those. And we'll be showing those in a future episode of the Playhouse. Now, this was also done by Funko, but this was commercially available from the largest side that they made available, and we'll show the comparisons. So, of course, there's no need to fear, because Underdog is here to save the day from Sweet Polly Pure Breath, his girlfriend, of course, but his nemesis being Simon Bar Sinister. I always like Commander McBragg in those episodes, too. Quite, if you remember Commander McBragg. All right, from the Flintstones, this is wonderful. This is a bank, all right? Here's Dino. Beautiful purple Dino. And now, these were early ons. They also did Frankenberry and Count Chocula. Playhouse does not have them currently, which came in boxes, I think. But these did not come. They just came in a brown box. But here, now this is a Wacky Wobbler Bobble Bank. And there's Huckleberry Hound standing at least about 26 inches or so, about 2 feet. And yes, he's a bank. But the graphics on this, for a Hanna-Barbera collector, okay, the box is just incredible. Not singing Oh My Darling Clementine yet, but, well, we love Huck. And of course, Huckleberry Hound was the official mascot that he worked for Freddie Funko. But I know Huckleberry had his own internet show on the Funko channel. Okay, speed this up a little bit for you. Just the different types from throughout the years, all right? Now, this is from a company called the Classic Collectible Critters. And these are a limited edition numbered of 10,000. Here's the famous stick depiction from the original opening of I Love Lucy. And these are just adorable, and they call them bobbing head dolls. But for people that know the original way I Love Lucy opened, it didn't open with the heart and the script writing when it was originally broadcast. They had these cartoon depictions in the opening. We're going to pick some of these up. I love Looney Tunes. Who doesn't? Of course, we love everything here at the Playhouse. So I'm going to show you a few of these. Now, these were available at the Warner Brothers store in the early, this version, because they did many different versions of them. Now, this version is the 1993 version, and you can always tell because of the base, sometimes the later ones, because they did them again in about 1997, and then they have color bases, but you want a matching, if you're trying to collect a matching set, you got to make sure that you see the Made in China sticker on the bottom. That's pretty much the only identifying marks that they have. But I thought they really did. They said they're made out of like a resin material, so it's certainly not plastic. And I'm going to show you the comparison. That's right. On Huck, we're going to go back for a second if you Playhouse members don't mind. If you're sticking with us, there's always so much fun here at the Playhouse. All right, we just showed you the Huckleberry Hound Bank. Now again, these will be on a future episode. But now this is the Wacky Wobbler Huckleberry Hound done by Funko. And they did literally probably nearly 1,000 different versions of these. The Flintstones, the Jetsons, every Hanna-Barbera character, including Squiddly Diddly. It's Frankenstein Jr. from The Impossibles. They all have bobbleheads. So I wanted to just show you the comparison from the big Huckleberry Hound Bobble Bank to what is the standard one that Funko did. All right, back to Looney Tunes. I'm going to show you my favorite right off the bat here. I just picked this up recently. This was a recent acquisition to the Playhouse because we had a few when we wanted this one. Oh, you varmint, Yosemite Sam. Holy galoot, right? Here's Yosemite, as you can see. This is really a nice depiction. Again, the same, I won't show you each one, but it says Made in China on the bottom. These came from the 1994 versions. And of course, they're 93, and you know how time flies. So he is 31 years old already. Sometimes I actually saw one on an internet sale, and they were asking, again, a nice, reasonable price. But if you looked closely, his gun was broken off. Yeah, so here he's complete. And I don't know if that would work today, of course, but we only care about the past here at the Playhouse, right? It's Yosemite Sam, he's got to. All right, then we got Bugs Bunny. I love this over depiction of his ears, enjoying his carrot. And of course we have everyone's favorite skunk. Oh, wow. This one smells a bit. Pepe Le Pew. We love you, Pepe. Okay. And of course, what Sylvester's always trying to get his little friend, but I think he really loves him. Tweety. Nice bobble there. He's adorable. Okay. So look for these. These can be found. They're kind of common if you're looking for them. Usually just find one or two at a collector show. All right, so now we'll just show you some real fast ones here. All right, we got the Gorton's Fisherman. And he was a mail-away premium. You had to like mail in the good old days still. When you got to mail in your $2.50 and your box stuff that you had to cut out of the box. Because those boxes weren't collectible, so the Playhouse said, all right, we can cut up the Gorton's Fisherman box. And of course, here's Davy and Goliath. A lot of fun. Now, these were made by a company called NECA. And these would be breakable too, but they're made out of a much harder resin material. And we got Andy and Barney. Of course, we don't even have to say any more on that, right? And These are all. These were not made by NECA. These were actually made by the Andy Griffith Appreciation Society, and they sold them for a limited time. Oh, over 35 years ago, I'd say. These back to the NECA figures. We got Gilligan and the Skipper and Fonzie. And wow, that looks like Uncle U. That's funny. Uncle U takes care of the Playhouse overnights. He's here from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Maybe you'll get to meet Uncle U in a future episode of the Playhouse. And this is a lot of fun. This was another company, Bosley Boppers, and the Red Fox Bobblehead, of course, from Sanford and Son. And, he's coming to join Elizabeth, I'm sure. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our special look at the world of bobblehead collecting, knotters, and even, of course, car mascots. And for now, the Playhouse is closed. Thanks, Joe Friday.